Why God wakes you up at 3 a.m. Old Key, the divine secret revealed. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, the clock striking exactly 3 a.m. Everything is silent, the world outside seems asleep, yet within you, something stirs, something demands your attention. Why does this happen? Why, at such an unusual hour, do you feel this restlessness? For many, it's no coincidence but a calling. A moment when the spiritual and the physical align, and God whispers truths you wouldn't hear amidst the chaos of the day. It might feel intriguing, even unsettling, but what if this awakening carries a crucial message for your life? What if it's the perfect moment to redefine your path? Believe it or not, this experience has been reported by people across the globe. Some call it a spiritual phenomenon, a divine encounter. Others see it as an opportunity for introspection and clarity. What no one can deny is that something unique happens at this hour. And here's the most remarkable part. The Bible, science, and countless personal accounts point to a profound mystery, one that could completely change how you view your routine, and even your faith. But what is God trying to tell you at 3 a.m.? Is it an invitation to trust more, to reflect, or to finally make a decision you've been postponing? On this journey, you'll uncover how this hour holds power, purpose, and above all, a chance for transformation. Are you ready to unravel the secret? Or will you, once again, ignore this call as you've done so many times before? Spiritual phenomenon. Waking up between 3 and 4 a.m. is often referred to as the hour of the gods. This is the time when the spiritual and physical worlds are most connected, allowing for deeper introspection and a stronger connection with the divine. In the stillness of the early hours, when everything feels suspended in time and the world sleeps deeply, some say that between 3 and 4 a.m., the soul awakens to something greater, something that transcends immediate understanding. This mysterious interval is known by many as the hour of the gods. It's not just a moment of wakefulness, but a window of opportunity to access deeper levels of introspection and spirituality. Why is it that so many accounts point to intense experiences, revealing dreams, and even unexplainable sensations during this time? Is it mere coincidence? Or is there something beyond what we can perceive? This time, for those who believe, is not random. It carries a symbolism that spans cultures and religions, a moment when the divine seems closer, as if the barrier between the physical and the spiritual becomes thinner. Think about how the night often forces us to confront our deepest thoughts. It's as if God is there, whispering amidst the silence. Who hasn't woken up at this hour, feeling a restlessness in their chest without knowing exactly why? Many report feeling an inexplicable urge to pray, meditate, or simply reflect on their lives. The phenomenon of waking up at 3 a.m. is not just intriguing, it is also an invitation. An invitation to pause and listen to what your heart and mind have to say when they are not overwhelmed by the distractions of the day. Picture yourself sitting on your bed, in the dark, with a faint sense that something greater is guiding your thoughts. Some people report that it's during this time that their best ideas emerge or that answers to difficult problems appear like a flash of clarity. Others believe it's a kind of divine call to reconnect with their faith. Have you ever stopped to think that perhaps this awakening isn't random but purposeful? Often, our routine suffocates our ability to hear our own soul. Maybe God uses the early hours as a reminder that there is more to seek, more to understand about life and oneself. During this time, the silence of the outer world amplifies the inner dialogue. Could this be the perfect moment to ask questions you fear facing during the day? Questions like, am I living the life God wants for me? Or what greater purpose do I need to fulfill? But the experience doesn't have to be lonely or unsettling. Imagine using this moment to open the Bible and meditate on a verse that resonates with your current situation. Passages like, call to me, and I will answer you, Jeremiah 33 verse 3, can bring peace and guidance. Perhaps, as you allow yourself to dive into these words, you'll begin to realize that waking up at this hour is more than just an odd habit. It's a divine opportunity. Many report finding inexplicable comfort and even solutions to personal dilemmas by simply surrendering to the silence and prayer. Additionally, consider the connection of this time with spiritual practices throughout history. In various traditions, monks, spiritual leaders, and sages often woke before dawn to dedicate themselves to moments of communion with God. They believed this was the purest time of the day when the mind and heart were most receptive. What if you could bring this practice into your own life? It might seem small, But waking up intentionally at this hour and dedicating a few minutes to prayer or reflection could transform how you approach the rest of your day. Still, it's natural to feel some resistance. After all, who wants to leave the comfort of sleep to face the unknown? But perhaps that's the point. Stepping out of your comfort zone to encounter something far beyond the ordinary. Imagine that by resisting the urge to go back to sleep, you're telling the universe, and God, that you're willing to listen, willing to open yourself to something greater. And isn't that exactly what we all seek? A purpose, a deeper meaning? When you embrace this moment, you realize it has its own energy. It's not a time of rush or obligation but of surrender. The darkness of the early hours seems to wrap you in a silent embrace, and the simple act of being awake becomes an almost sacred experience. It's not about solving everything at once, but about being present, listening, reflecting. Often, it's in these moments that we discover the answers we've been seeking were within us all along. This is the essence of the hour of the gods, a gift that few allow themselves to open. It's easy to ignore, to go back to sleep, and move on with life as if nothing happened. But what if you chose to explore this call? What if each awakening was a chance to draw a little closer to God and your own essence? And so, the question lingers. What else might be happening while you sleep, as the spiritual and physical worlds meet in this unique moment? Perhaps the answers lie in the next step, in that intersection where science and faith begin to merge, revealing even deeper layers of this mystery. Scientific insights. During REM sleep, which peaks between 3 and 5 a.m., our subconscious mind is at its most active, making this time ideal for prayer, meditation, and dream analysis. Amid the complexities of the human brain, REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep, emerges as one of its most fascinating phases. It is during this stage that the most vivid dreams occur, and the subconscious mind comes alive, processing information that often goes unnoticed during the day. Between 3 and 5 a.m., REM sleep peaks, creating a unique bridge between science and spirituality. Have you ever wondered why this specific time is so often mentioned in traditions and spiritual practices? There's something captivating about how biology and faith seem to intertwine in this moment. During REM sleep, the brain doesn't merely rest, it organizes memories, solves problems, and even reflects on emotions you might have ignored while awake. It's as if, in this brief window, there's a sacred space where your mind works to bring forth what truly matters. Many people report waking suddenly during this time with brilliant ideas, insights, or even answers to dilemmas that seemed unsolvable. Could this not be the perfect moment to turn these perceptions into prayer or meditation? Imagine your mind as an infinite library. During the day, you're too busy to explore the aisles and open the right books. But between 3 and 5 a.m., it's as if the doors to this library open, and an invisible librarian begins placing the most relevant information right in front of you. What do you do with it? Many choose to go back to sleep, but others seize the opportunity to explore the pages of this divine library. It might just be the perfect time to jot down a dream, reflect on it, and even seek its interpretation. This is where science and spirituality converge. While science explains that REM sleep is essential for mental and emotional well-being, spirituality suggests that this heightened state of consciousness is also a moment of divine connection. Perhaps the dreams that arise during this time are not merely reflections of the subconscious but messages from the Creator. What if you viewed your dreams as a form of dialogue between you and God? What might they be trying to reveal about your life, your choices, or your fears? What if, upon waking at this time, you dedicated a few minutes to reflect on the thoughts that arise? It may seem simple, but this practice could become something powerful. One practical idea is to keep a journal by your bedside. Whenever you wake between 3 and 5 a.m., jot down whatever is on your mind, even if it seems disconnected. Many who do this notice patterns over time and find answers to significant questions. Could this be a way of hearing God's voice in the stillness of the night? Beyond the scientific aspect, there's something unique about this time. Distractions are minimal, and the atmosphere is charged with an almost tangible serenity. It's as if the world itself is in a state of pause, waiting for you to take the opportunity to reconnect with yourself and the divine. No wonder practices like meditation and prayer are especially recommended during this hour. Both help to calm the mind, align the spirit, and even direct your energy toward what truly matters. And let's not forget the analysis of dreams. Since biblical times, dreams have been used as tools for divine guidance. Joseph, for instance, interpreted Pharaoh's dreams and changed the fate of an entire nation. Have you ever considered that perhaps your dreams, no matter how strange they seem, might also contain important messages? Perhaps they're not just disconnected images, but signs of something greater trying to get your attention. Another way to explore this moment is through focused prayer. While your subconscious mind is most active, your prayers may carry even greater impact, both on yourself and the world around you. It's as if your words, infused with intention and emotion, can cross invisible barriers and reach God's heart more directly. What if you use this time to seek guidance, express gratitude, or simply surrender your worries? Interestingly, even those who don't consider themselves religious or spiritual often report a sense of peace or clarity when waking at this time. Perhaps it's because, deep down, we are all connected to something greater, and this early hour serves as a reminder of that. Have you ever tried using this time to simply be present, without judgment or expectations? It's remarkable how just a few minutes of quiet reflection can transform your day, and perhaps even your life. But what else might be happening during this interval? If science tells us it's the moment when the subconscious is most active, and faith suggests it's an hour of divine connection, what more could we discover if we delve deeper into it? Perhaps the key lies in how we use this time, in how we turn a simple awakening into an opportunity for growth and transformation. And so, the journey continues, with more mysteries waiting to be unveiled. Energy and manifestation. This period is considered the most powerful for manifesting blessings, reflecting on personal challenges, and seeking clarity in life choices. There is something magical about waking up in the early hours of the morning, when the night still holds its deepest darkness, and the world around you seems frozen in time. Between 3 and 5 a.m., many believe that the universe's energy peaks, creating the perfect environment for manifesting blessings. This isn't just a time for introspection, but also an opportunity to transform dreams into reality by channeling clear and conscious intentions. So, have you ever wondered what you could achieve if you embraced this moment instead of ignoring it? Manifestation is both a powerful and simple concept. It involves aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the outcomes you desire. During these hours, the mind is in a more receptive state, free from the distractions of the day. It's as if you're attuned to a frequency closer to that of the divine and your own desires. Imagine waking up and, before doing anything else, dedicating a few minutes to giving thanks for the blessings you already have. This practice not only elevates your energy but also sets the stage to receive even more. Have you noticed how answers to seemingly impossible problems sometimes appear suddenly, as if whispered by a higher power? Many people say this happens during these early hours. Perhaps it's because, in this state of calm and stillness, we are better able to hear God's voice or recognize the signs He sends us. This is a time to reflect on personal challenges, to see difficulties not as obstacles but as disguised opportunities. What would you do if you knew the solution was closer than you imagined, simply waiting for your attention? This idea of clarity in life's choices may sound abstract, but in practice, it is incredibly tangible. For instance, if you feel stuck, whether in a relationship, at work, or in any other area, using this time to meditate or pray can offer a new perspective. A simple practice could be to write down your doubts on paper before going to bed and allow your subconscious mind to work on them. When you wake up at this hour, review your notes and notice how new ideas or solutions begin to surface almost effortlessly. And what about the energy of gratitude? Studies show that practicing gratitude significantly impacts our mental and emotional health. So why not use these quiet hours to list 3 things you're thankful for? It could be as simple as the meal you had for dinner or as profound as the love of your family. By doing this, you raise your vibration, becoming a magnet for more good things in your life. At the same time, you could use this moment to visualize your future blessings as if they were already reality. Wouldn't this be a way to manifest what you desire? However, this energy isn't just for manifesting personal desires. It's also a moment to reflect on how you can positively impact the world around you. Imagine waking up at this time and spending a few minutes praying not only for your own needs but also for your loved ones, your community, and even the world. The power of collective intention is extraordinary, and many believe that in these moments of stillness, our prayers have the greatest impact. The early hours also invite us to confront our deepest emotions. How many times have you tried to ignore a worry or fear during the day, only to have it resurface in dreams or in the quiet of the night? This is the perfect time to face these emotions head-on, to seek clarity, and perhaps even healing. What if you transformed these emotions into fuel for something greater? For instance, anxiety could become an opportunity to plan better, while fear could be a call to courage. It's fascinating how we often fail to recognize the power within us. During these hours, when everything around us seems still, we are invited to look inward and awaken that power. What would you do if you truly believed you could change your life? That the blessing you've been waiting for is already on its way, simply waiting for the right moment to manifest? Perhaps waking up at this time is the first step towards starting to believe that. And with each new awakening comes a fresh chance to shape your reality. It's not just about wishing, but about acting with faith and intention. It's a dance between your will and God's will, a reminder that even in the silence of the early morning, you are never alone. But, of course, this raises a question. If this time is so powerful for manifesting, reflecting, and seeking clarity, what role do the messages we receive in our dreams play? Perhaps there's an even deeper path to explore, and it may begin the next time you wake up. Emotional introspection. Waking up at specific times carries unique messages. For instance, waking between 1 and 2 a.m. may signify unresolved internal conflicts, while waking between 4 and 5 a.m. symbolizes renewal and a fresh start. There are moments when waking in the dead of night feels like more than mere coincidence. For many, these awakenings carry profound and specific meanings, as if each hour serves as a key unlocking unexplored parts of our inner selves. For example, waking between 1 and 2 a.m. might not simply be an inconvenience, but a reflection of unresolved internal conflicts you've been avoiding. Meanwhile, waking between 4 and 5 a.m. might symbolize renewal and a fresh start. But are we listening closely to these messages? Between 1 and 2 a.m., the mind seems more attuned to repressed emotions. It's as if the body is saying, "You need to deal with this." Perhaps it's that issue you avoid addressing during the day, or a lingering sense of guilt that surfaces in moments of quiet. This time is an opportunity to pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid? Why does this still bother me? Many who choose to reflect during this time find unexpected clarity, as though simply acknowledging these feelings is the first step toward overcoming them. On the other hand, between 4 and 5 a.m., the message feels lighter, almost like a whisper of hope. This is the hour that many cultures and traditions associate with new beginnings, a time to let go of the past and look toward the future. Imagine waking up and realizing that, no matter how difficult yesterday was, a new opportunity is waiting for you. This moment, if embraced, can be transformative. What if you use this time to plan your day, pray for guidance, or simply visualize the goals you want to achieve? Emotional introspection is not an easy process, but it's essential for those seeking personal and spiritual growth. Think of your life as a garden. Unresolved conflicts are the weeds that, if ignored, can choke out what you truly want to cultivate. What if these awakenings were gentle reminders to pull out those weeds before they take over? For instance, if you wake at 2 a.m. with a heavy heart, instead of fighting to go back to sleep, you could grab a journal and write about what you're feeling. This simple act of putting thoughts on paper can be a powerful form of release. But why do these specific hours have such a profound impact? Some traditions suggest it's tied to the natural cycles of the body and soul. Between 1 and 2 a.m., your energy is more focused on internal processing, while between 4 and 5 a.m., it expands outward toward the world. It's almost as if you're being called to take stock. What do I need to let go of? And what am I ready to receive? These simple questions can open paths you never imagined. Of course, this practice requires courage. After all, who enjoys revisiting old wounds or facing their own weaknesses? But it's precisely in this confrontation that strength lies. When you choose to face these feelings, something inside you shifts. It's like cleaning a dusty mirror and finally seeing your reflection clearly. Imagine waking at 2 a.m. and realizing the anguish you feel isn't a sentence but an invitation to transform. Or waking at 5 a.m. and seeing the first light of day as a reminder that you can always start anew. There's also a spiritual connection to this process. Many believe God uses these hours to reach us, to show us something we're too busy to notice during the day. Have you considered that waking repeatedly at a specific time might be like receiving an invisible note saying, "I am here, and I want you to pay attention"? Instead of ignoring this call, what might happen if you answered it? Perhaps it's the perfect moment to open the Bible and meditate on verses that speak directly to your heart. Additionally, don't underestimate the power of small actions during these awakenings. Something as simple as taking deep breaths, reciting a short prayer, or just being present can have a profound impact. Imagine using these moments to express gratitude for what you have or to ask for strength to face what lies ahead. These practices may seem small, but over time, they build a solid foundation for a more balanced and meaningful life. And so, as night turns to morning, you may realize that these awakenings aren't interruptions but invitations. Invitations to look inward, to grow, to renew. But, of course, this raises a question. If each hour carries a unique message, how do these messages connect to the examples of those who came before us, those who faced challenges and found divine guidance? Perhaps the answers lie in the stories we have yet to explore. The video explores examples like Joseph and Jesus, who received divine guidance during crucial moments in their lives, emphasizing faith and surrender during times of uncertainty. Throughout Scripture, we find remarkable stories of people who, in moments of uncertainty, were awakened to receive divine guidance. Among them, Joseph and Jesus stand out as living examples of how faith can lead us through even the darkest nights. These accounts are not just historical records. They are invitations to reflect on how God continues to speak to us, often in the most unexpected moments. So, have you ever wondered if the restless nights you experience might actually be divine invitations to something greater? Think about Joseph, the dreamer, whose life was shaped by visions received while he slept. He was just a young shepherd when he began having dreams that foretold his future as a leader. Yet, before those dreams came to fruition, Joseph faced betrayal, imprisonment, and years of uncertainty. In one of those nights, imprisoned and forgotten, he interpreted the dreams of others, and it was this gift that elevated him to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. What makes this story so powerful is that Joseph didn't just trust in his dreams. He trusted in God, even when everything seemed lost. Isn't this a perfect example of how, in the midst of adversity, our sleepless nights might carry messages of hope? Now consider Jesus, bearing the weight of the world in the Garden of Gethsemane. On that night, he knew what lay ahead. While his disciples slept, Jesus remained awake, fervently praying to the Father. It's impossible not to be moved by the image of Jesus, alone in the darkness, asking for strength to face the sacrifice that would change humanity's history. His words, "Not my will, but yours be done," echo as a reminder that even in our most difficult moments, there is a greater purpose at work. How would you respond if you were awakened to make such a profound decision? These examples are not just stories of the past. They reflect how God works in our lives today. You may never have interpreted a dream that changed the destiny of a nation or faced the cross as Jesus did, but that doesn't mean your struggles are insignificant. On the contrary, every restless night, every silent prayer, could be an opportunity to receive the divine guidance you've been seeking. Have you ever stopped to consider that, like Joseph and Jesus, you too might be being prepared for something greater? Joseph's faith teaches us to trust, even when our dreams feel distant. And Jesus' surrender reminds us that strength often comes through yielding to God's plan. When you feel lost or wake up in the middle of the night without knowing why, it might be the perfect moment to follow their examples. Why not open your Bible and seek inspiration from passages that speak about faith and surrender? Perhaps, in the stillness of the night, you'll find the answers you've been longing for. And it's not just about grand events or decisions. Sometimes, divine guidance comes in the small things. An idea that suddenly emerges, a sense of peace that fills your heart, or the memory of a verse that brings comfort. These moments may seem insignificant at first, but they are like pieces of a puzzle that God is assembling in your life. Are you willing to pay attention and trust the process? Another fascinating aspect of these biblical examples is how they show that God works on his timeline, not ours. Joseph waited years to see his dreams fulfilled, and Jesus, knowing the challenges ahead, trusted in God's greater plan. This teaches us that even when we don't understand why something is happening, our trust in God can sustain us. Are you willing to wait for the right time, believing that God is working behind the scenes? These awakenings also invite us to act. Just as Joseph used his gift of interpreting dreams to help others, and Jesus spent his final hours in prayer, we are also called to do something with what we receive. Maybe it's helping someone in need, sharing a word of encouragement, or simply dedicating more time to prayer. What can you do today to turn your restless nights into moments of purpose? If you're wondering where to start, the answer is simple. Start small. The next time you wake up in the middle of the night, instead of becoming frustrated or falling back asleep mindlessly, take a moment to pray, meditate, or reflect. Ask God what He wants to show you. It might be something as simple as a reminder that you are not alone, or as profound as a direction to change your life. Ultimately, these biblical examples show us that faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. This naturally leads to a deeper question. What more can we learn by exploring the connections between these awakenings and the science of sleep? Perhaps by delving further into our understanding, we can uncover even more about how God uses these moments to guide and transform us. And now that you know what it means to be awakened at 3 a.m., the question remains, what will you do with this calling? Will you keep ignoring the messages, letting the blessings slip by unnoticed? Or will you finally respond to the divine voice that has been trying to reach your heart? This moment, as mysterious as it is powerful, is not merely a disruption of sleep. It's an opportunity for transformation. It's God, in His infinite wisdom, opening a door for you to reconnect with His presence, your dreams, and the greater purpose He has planned for you. If you feel there's something incomplete, that your doubts and fears still weigh heavily in the silence of the night, start taking action now. Grab a notebook, write down your concerns, pray with an open heart, and seek in the Bible the answers God has for you. It's not about perfection but willingness. God doesn't expect you to have all the answers, only that you're willing to listen. Are you ready to turn these nights into mornings of revelation? And more than that, how can you share this experience with others? Imagine the impact you could make by encouraging someone to do the same, to listen to the divine voice we so often ignore. It's a cycle of blessings that begins when you say yes to the calling. If you want to continue learning more about faith, spirituality, and how these divine messages can change your life, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications and join us on this journey of growth and discovery. Don't put off for later what could transform your life today. God is waiting for you, and the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., remember, it might just be Him trying to speak to you. So, what will you do with this calling?